Why do you close your eyes in sujood, but keep them wide open when you sin? Why do you whisper to Allah in the dark and shout your desires in daylight? Why do you ask for mercy, with lips still wet from disobedience? Are you praying or hiding? Because some people don't pray to change, they pray to avoid looking at what they've become. You walk to the masjid like a soldier, but crumble like sand in front of a screen. You post Quran quotes, but delete your browser history. You kneel at night, but not to surrender, to reset. Reset the guilt, reboot the image, reinstall the mask. Islam was never meant to be a performance. So why do your most beautiful recitations echo off empty walls? There's a version of you that prays, and a version that plays with fire. One seeks the light, one lives in shadows. And somehow, they both live in the same chest. Which one do you feed more? Lust doesn't knock. It breaks in. It doesn't whisper. It howls. And we don't fight it. We flirt with it. We scroll past modesty and then ask Allah for haya. You click, you stare, you lose. Then you pray like a man with amnesia. The stain is no longer on the screen. It's now stitched into the soul. Ya Allah, forgive me. Do you mean it? Or are you pressing the emergency button, hoping to skip the consequences? Dua is not a delete key. It's a confession. Real Tawbah feels like standing naked in front of the one who saw you sin and still gave you time to come back. What if you never wanted to change? What if you prayed just enough to convince yourself you're not lost? What if every tear was just your ego crying that it got caught? What if the shaitan doesn't need to lie to you because you're already lying to yourself? The Prophet said, there will come a time when people will pray, but their hearts will not be present. The Quran says, so woe to those who pray but are heedless of their prayer. Surah Al-Ma'un 107, 4-5. That warning could be for you, or for the version of you you're too afraid to confront. There was a time when you cried after every sin. Now you sin after every prayer. The boy in the mirror still exists, but he's buried under edits, likes, dopamine, and shame. And still, he watches you pray, silently, wondering if you even remember what fear of Allah felt like. What if this isn't a video? What if this is your mirror? What if this voice is just the part of your soul you keep silencing? What if Allah made you stop scrolling today, just to force you to listen to what you've been hiding? Maybe the guilt isn't your enemy. Maybe it's your last chance. If you've made it this far, that means you're still searching. Searching for the version of you that you lost, or maybe the one you never became. So let me ask one last time. When you stood in salah last night, were you really connecting with Allah, or just disconnecting from your sins? Did your lips move out of love or out of fear? Did you bow to surrender, or just to escape the weight of your conscience? Comment below. No one knows who you are. But maybe, just maybe, you'll find yourself, or your darkest part, right here beneath this video. If this video touched your heart, then maybe it's meant to reach another heart too. Like, share, and subscribe, not for numbers, but so it reaches another brother, another sister who's still lost in the noise. Maybe together, we'll all remember what we were created for.